Hey there, everybody. This is Dandy Dragon, and I am finally bringing another game to y'all that is of unique quality. We're doing a Team FFA, Ventus myself playing against a bunch of people online, myself playing on the Zushi, Ventus on the Abbasid, his main civ. Now, we were doing Nomad specifically, and we were looking for a place to kind of set up our base. I was in the north, he was in the south. Kind of made it difficult to find a good place to meet in the middle. We spotted a few vills going over to the right and some vills going over here, so we thought the best bet was to set up in the north. Since I'm Zushi, I have one of the fastest castle timings in the game. So with that in mind, I can go in, get up my TC right away and try to rush castle, grab a bunch of relics, and make up for that kind of delayed timing from my ally. I do see that green was moving past me here, up into the north, and it seems his ally, the orange player, is also making his way over. I'm a little surprised. Both teal and orange both had units over here. They could have one of those teams could have set up over here on this side. Probably what it should have been teal and yellow could have set up like right around here. There's a lot of berries, lots of gold. Would have been a pretty good location. We do see green is finally starting his base. Orange is still working his way over. At this point, I've already nearly finished my TC, and Ventus has his started. This kind of gives us a nice little lead over everyone else. The only one who is that close to finishing their TC is red, as far as I'm aware. Yep, he's not finishing up there. Teal's still moving. Orange is kind of still moving. He's got a Vil getting started though, which is good. We do see that green has all his Vils on it. Ventus slowly but surely getting caught up. And I've got the TC up. And I'm going to immediately try to start working on that fast castle. I apologize if I'm sounding a little rough. Been sick for about a week now, so trying to get the old voice box to work. Now, this would have been really nice to catch out this king right there. If I pull all my vills and get a round off, I could probably even kill the king right there if I catch him. But I was not paying attention to that really, so he will just kind of walk right past me. You see Japan is going for some early wood. He's out on the deer pack. I think there's not really a need for him to be on wood right now. If anything, I would just be trying to rush feudal, get a second TC. Especially as Japan, where you get stone a little bit faster than other civs, because you get it from mining gold. That'll allow him to get the stone for a second TC fairly quickly. You see orange still hasn't got his TC up. The Ottomans from Urson Kuneri finally got his TC up. Now, he's going for early stone, probably get enough stone just to get a military school right away. I don't think that's really needed. He needs to just kind of rush into feudal and get a second TC going, get that boom up to make up for falling behind. His ally, on the other hand, is in a good position there. Honestly, I'm surprised he didn't just pull down and build right there. They would have had a really safe double TC location. There's deer there, there's the wood line, and a large gold node, which is more than enough to share between those two. Our opponent here in the north, the French, looking rather... he's got not the best position. He's sharing food right there with his ally. Kind of have to at this point, though honestly he would have just been better off going to the deer and letting his ally get all the olive oil. Part of my speech. We do see that the English is doing both sheep and berries. Makes sense. Kind of just don't want to go into farms right away, save up the resources, try to just age up normally. The old dandy just gathering up all the sheep that he can. Everything's going to be pretty slow here at the start, as this is a nomad game, so people aren't going to be able to age up quite as fast, because the first minute of the game is just kind of building your location. I am going to be the first to be able to age up though, and I'm going to pull a bunch of vills and go down to the middle where there's a lot of resources to get a good meditation gardens. And right now I'm just trying to test what is the best one, though I should have done that a little bit sooner, so that way I don't have all this idle time. Eventually I decide it's right here. I get a stone node, a few berries, the wood line, and just ever so slightly I captured that gold node. Now, something like this would have been really good, double gold and a large set of wood and stone. Usually if you can get 2 to 3 gold nodes and some wood line, that's usually kind of the best in my opinion, because the wood will give you all the passive wood to make some starting farms once you have to transition. And the gold is just always good to have infinite gold. Zushi especially likes to have really expensive armies, so it makes sense. We do see that the Japanese player is getting an age up right now, rushing that with 7 bills. I'm a little surprised. He doesn't need it. Okay, there we go. 5 is a little bit more reasonable. I think it's still a bit much, but not a bad choice. Oh, Ventus' scout does get stuck there a little bit. Sadly, that is an English TC, and he may lose that scout there. Nope, he got it out just in time. So our game plan, having scouted out most of our neighbors here, we saw pink, we saw green, we saw orange. We decided we probably want to kill orange and green first. We don't want someone behind us, especially if we want to get cross-map trade. If we look over here and there's nobody over here, then that gives us this entire length of the map to work with. Yep, get the age up. Not long after though, obviously Japan will follow suit. But at this rate, I should be able to hit castle before anyone else. Unluckily for me, a lot of the relics are kind of in this area, which Japan is almost as close to, or is even closer. Teal is definitely closer to the relics than I am, but luckily I am going to age up before all of them, which means the game plan is going strong. Now this is not a bad decision. It can be a drop-off point for all of your wood line here. I would have liked it just a little bit closer to the TC, so it's the exact, square of a farm away. That way he's not wasting the space. Though that might be it. It's a little hard to tell. We will see later. Ventus going for a pretty basic opening, aging up, getting his fertile crescent. Yep. Decreasing the cost of economy buildings and houses by 30%. That's going to allow him to get a second TC up or something of that nature pretty easily. At this point, he probably needs to just pull off the gold now, though. He's getting his wheelbarrow. He's got fresh food stuff. Yep, and he does. Very standard, good, bastard play from Ventus. Man has played it a fair few times. I'm already nearly able to age up. We finally see that our northern neighbors are starting to get the resources to age up. I'm a little surprised Orange hasn't started yet. He should have had the resources to do... Oh, okay. This is a big mistake. He's got 8 vills in queue. If he had the vills off of wood and on gold, he would have the wood to age up, or the gold to age up right now already. And if he took some vills out of queue, he could be aging up. It's just a little bit of lack of efficiency there. And also, like, this Grand Winery, not a great placement for it. Like, could have easily been right here, so he can use this drop-off point for all the steer, and then he could build his farms around it. Though I guess that cliff edge could kind of mess that up. So it's not perfect. Going immediately into an olive grove. Got to keep the olive train going, I guess. Now, this was prior to the update. Sadly, I haven't been able to get a lot of games in since the update, as I've been busy with work. So we've got a few kind of older games. Or was this prior to the update? I'll have to check. No, this is post update. Post update. Not long after the update, I should say. It was within a week of the last patch. Oh man, I'm a little foggy in the brain. Boys. We do see that I am able to get the Shaolin Monastery up and running. Got a few vills getting wood so I can get up some monasteries. Gonna be able to just start pumping out the Shaolin monks with 15 or 13 vills on sheep with the Imperial official supervising. It doesn't take long to get the food you need. Now looking at our opponents, we see that yellow, he's sitting on a lot of sheep. He should just harvest from those. Got a lot of idle vills. See, he seems to have the same game plan I do. Grab relics, go fast castle. Very much the standard play from Japan. But yeah, when you have that many sheep, you might as well just use them up. It's a little surprising to me. Sadly, his ally is not as stable as he is. Really needs to just get that second TC up. I'm very surprised by the Sultani trait network play. I guess it's more resources because it's all free resources instead of just say food. So I do see the value there. And sadly, or unluckily for him, I don't even need to garrison to get that kill. The Chinese and Azushi TCs do have a hand cannon in placement, and that will kill a scout pretty quickly. Already on a relic. Just trying to dive out and grab those as soon as we can. We do see red is gone 2 TC. Now this is what you need to be doing. 2 TC, just booming as hard as you can. Like right here, this is like what I don't know what his traders are doing. There's his military from the military school isn't going to do anything right now. Like getting this down just slowed him, his economy at least. We do see orange is kind of spreading out his tendrils, so to speak, kind of getting out onto the map. Makes sense. You know you're kind of pushed into a corner. You need to get out of the corner right away, so that way if you start to get raided or attacked, your economy doesn't just get crippled by a few like early castle knights. Lapse of micro from me, of course. I am not well known for being the best player. I just am good with knights and I know some good fundamentals and strategy. Now we do see the king from the English here, he's just kind of sitting idle. I'm a little surprised. He could easily be out raiding or just like denying some relics, securing resources, or even just a scout. Like he's a tanky guy with healing. Makes sense to use him. Now this is I think is a smart play, just getting up to castle, getting a king's palace to kind of balance out your economy. Not a bad play to say the least. Yep, finally do recognize I have the monk. Gonna get that relic drop off. See, you can see all these relics are kind of just over here. They're just so far away from me. It's not gonna be easy to grab most of them. Spawn kind of punishing me here. Probably would have been best if I had set up like over here. Me and Ventus were talking about our best locations to start, and we both agreed if we had gone to the left over here, it would have been a little bit better. Just because of the how open it is, and there is a few large gold nodes as close to the relics. It would have been faster for both of us to get our landmarks set up overall. We do see that some Keshiks are coming in from the Byzantine player to kind of come and raid. It's a little bit too late at this point to start raiding. Yeah, I don't have military to kill this right now. But it's not like it won't take me long to get it. It's not like I'm out of food or anything. Or I am low on food, but I can get it very easily. And men-at-arms in castle can take on feudal knights, especially Keshiks. Keshiks don't have a lot of HP, So just trying to, yeah, that was not a good fight from him. Getting these walls up, should have had more vills on it. Because if he can get the walls up right away, then that'll kind of deter any aggression. And we do see knights coming down. Yeah, this level of raid isn't going to be super impactful at this point in the game, inherently due to the fact that we've already got a boom going. We have military, we got relics, like we got some good passive resources. As you can see, gold is not my issue. And I still got monks out on the map grabbing relics. Sadly, this is, he's going to be able to kill this monk before I can grab this relic. But that also alerts me that he is there. If he had not built right there on the relic, I probably would have never noticed if it was like right here or something. And that honestly would have been a better location. He could have pushed the deers up. He would have had a large gold or a large wood node he could have just built up on top of and been along the edge of the map. It would have been a safer position in my opinion. But once again, just my opinion. Yep. Monk will die there. Sad to see. Yeah. Oh, accidentally pulled a relic out. That's one of the things that kind of sucks if you queue a monk to go in to grab a relic and then shift click him back to the TC. If he doesn't have a relic to, if he doesn't grab a relic when he does that, then he'll end up just grabbing a relic out of the monastery and then going to wherever you shift click next. So just losing the passive gold there. But on 5 relics, not bad so far. We do see that the our opponents got a couple there. There's still that one in limbo. I'm not sure if anyone else grabbed any. Not seeing any from that side. Not seeing any from that side. But at this point, Ventus and myself are probably ahead of everyone else. I have enough relics to basically have been on multiple TC. Ventus himself is on multiple TC. Abbasid having one of the strongest economies. And he's making very cheap military. Just massive mass archers, letting the men-at-arms and the rams tank, and the archers can just do eco damage and kill spears. Yep, Phils are going to have to run. Kings are going to have to run. There's no hope for them now. They angered the bear, so to speak. Me and Ventus were making the comment, or I made the comment to Ventus. From the outside perspective, it looks like they raided us once and we went in for the kill, though they were our target from the beginning, so it was not a bad plan for them to come at us, but honestly, their only real hope would have been to just boom as hard as possible and set up a new base in a different corner and just try to drag it out. One of the big things in this is whoever can kind of get a kill right away while keeping a very stable economy tends to win team FFAs like this, especially if there's kings involved. Due to once you get that extra 100 pop, there's not a lot that can stop your economy or can keep up with your economy or your military, because everyone else is still on the standard pop amount. Now this was funny to me. They were walling and I did not see it, so we both, I guess, just queued up walls and just wanted to be left alone. You can see that they're planning to go attack teal and yellow, which makes sense. Like, you don't want to fight, like, you have right up close neighbors and you have neighbors on the other flank on both sides. Like, you got to pick one and kind of hope the other one isn't attacking you, and if one is clearly being peaceful, you can kind of just ignore them. So since we're not putting any pressure, we're not raiding them, we're even building walls, it kind of shows that we're not here for them, which means that they can feel safer to go attack someone else. And you can see now at this point, because he doesn't have a great economy, teal, it just doesn't have the military to keep up with red. And red just is on multiple TC. He's gonna have some passive resources if he uses the Shinto priest drops. Now we do see the king right here outside the TC, and I do tell Ventus to just go over there and snipe it real quick. A lot of people forget that you have to forcibly use the garrison ability. from or for units that are or to put a unit that is not the same color. So if like green wants to get in here, he has to force garrison. But if well, I guess his ally's dead, or he's dead now, so I can't use that as a good relevant point. If orange wanted to garrison in green's old TCs, though, he would have needed to go in and just force garrison with that as well. That's kind of the issue at this point, is that you can't protect your kings, then you're just dead. Which at this point they were so far behind, there wasn't much for them to do anyway. Ventus is going to let me get the kill here, so that way I get 50 pop as well, and so that way we're both kind of keeping up numbers. You kind of, just in case something happens to one of the players, like if Ventus got both the kills and then DC'd, then I'm completely screwed. So just for the sake of just, you know, caution, it's usually a good idea to split up who gets the kills, to try to diversify, make everyone kind of on the same playing field strength-wise. And yeah, we see there's not much of an army here from TL. He's going to get steamrolled pretty quickly right now. And sadly, the strength of the free military really doesn't come in until you can get Janissaries or Knights. Up until that point, you're not getting actually a lot of resources out of it. And now here's the issue from Yellow. While he got all these relics, he went for double TC relics and went for Imperial, which means that he doesn't have military, which means he can't save his ally, and his ally is just going to be like taking a huge, just a lot of pressure right now that shouldn't have to be there. Like, this is really tough for him. Like, you really want to be working on, like, supporting your ally. If they need more military, you just need to pump out more military. Booming to your heart's content, while good to a degree, there is a point where it's like, oh, you're falling behind. Because he can handle, like, all this pressure pretty well. Like, if in a 1v1, he could probably take on pink or red, and maybe even, like, 1.5 of both. Problem is, he can't stop both of them outright. So this is going to just allow one of, like, red, being the player in this case, is going to be able to just kind of just flood teal's base and kill a bunch of vills. If you're teal at this point, you just want to go on a just run away to the south sort of expedition. Pardon me, guys. And trying to keep the coughs down. You do see that me and Ventus, or Ventus and I, are just going to set up a bunch of trade along the edge of the map. At this point, while the other two are fighting, we're on extra pop. If we can just get some resources just starting to pile up, then it doesn't matter what happens for the rest of the game. We can probably even handle these guys 4v2 due to the extra 100 pop. If we play correctly. Yep, and they are able to get teal there, which is going to leave it just to be a 2v3 almost. Because at this point, yellow is calling for help, but they also are like, oh, you know, can't help them because then they have extra pop. So it's kind of just a race for red and pink to try and kill yellow before we're ready to fight them. But knowing that their army is across the map, as we have scouted, and if they're fighting yellow, that means they're not in base. We're going to be able, despite the fact that we don't have a lot of resources right now, we can probably go in and get a kill. And which is kind of the thing, you know, we don't have to kill the armies if we can kill the players. And as both English and Japan are infantry bases usually in FFAs, our large cav mass there is going to be able to go in and just hunt down just kings that are not in good position. Now, what he needs to do more than anything is just garrison up, try to survive with the king somewhere until his army can arrive, because it's almost here, honestly. Like, and if they can get in a head-to-head fight with us, we can't outright win very easily. So him trying to desperation run the king in a panic is actually going to get him screwed here, because, yep, if he had just stayed like in the king's palace and then just, or like build like several towers and was just kind of hopping between them back here and just waited, because now the armies are here, they're going to be able to, they could have done some work, and now it's just red and yellow. Neither one of them has extra pop, or has much of extra pop. Red has 1 kill, yellow doesn't have any. Their only bet is to try and band together here and take like one of them attacks while one of them defends, but even that's not going to just work at this point. There's too much of a massive military, and we can kind of just go in and grind out red. And we do see that the yellow player, he's just trying to amass as many cav units as possible, just using that food and gold to the fullest extent. Which, you know what, not a bad strategy. Just get it as elite of an army as possible, and you can either possibly just win the head-to-head fight, or even go in and get a snipe on an opponent. Now, this was a mistake. We let a bunch of rams get killed here that we needed to take down this landmark. The Japanese TC is basically like 2 keeps in 1. It's kind of insane. Yep, he's got Rebalquins coming in, though the answer to Rebalquin is just mass ranged units, and it is targeting a ram right there, so it's not going to do a lot of damage. Some big misplays coming in from red right at this moment, but to be fair, there's a lot of panic setting in. His ally's dead, his economy is going to be is currently kind of just in shambles, and right now he just has to hope that the landmark can hold out. Once again, Robalkin going down, just not having the that was a great shot though. If he had 2 or 3 mangonels and he just lit that up, that probably would have been the best case scenario, because if you can kill the army, you can hold out for a little while longer. At this point though, the economy is kind of starting to get the jams pumped, though I am definitely messing up my macro right now, just trying to pump out military to get this kill and just try to end this as soon as possible. Meanwhile, we can see that the Japanese player is just trying to get that Knight Horde. Now, I think this is a misplay. Ozutsu are not a great defensive unit. Great offensive unit. They can take down buildings very quickly. They can do some decent damage. Not great, but decent. You can kind of see that they're not really, like, they can target down. Like, it's like having a hand cannoneer, I guess, is the best way to put it. I believe they, yeah, they got 28 range damage, but the 132 building. Yeah, they're really just like having an infantry bombard. That's like kind of my view for them. Yeah, but at this point, the keep is going down, though he is able to protect the king there for a moment, but the cav is going to try to catch it out. Yep, and that's going to be it. So this is the last moment for yellow to kind of get that all mounted samurai army, or mostly mounted samurai army, to go in and just try to just win it on its own. His time to just build up and bank is gone. Meanwhile, the trade is just like continuing to just go bonkers. Ventus, yeah, he's doing way better than I am about making sure he's using his TCs and the like. There's one thing Ventus knows how to do, it is boom. And at this point, like, funnily enough, we don't actually have an army that can beat this. Like, in a head-to-head fight, like, he wins this 100%. Like, this is, like, that's mainly archers. Archers are not going to kill mounted samurai very quickly. You can see, like, they're just not dying. And so if he just gets them all up on us, then there's not a lot we can do. We will try to take out as many of the hand cannoneers as possible. Just do what damage we can. Yep. His hand cannoneer blob does go down, basically. And we were just kind of rallying over there. Realized that, oh crap, he's actually got like a strong army. We're just gonna have to lose what's over here. Because, yeah, he just keeps pumping mounted samurai, which, you know what? If it's working, it's working. We have way more pop than he does, though, so at this point, as long as we can prevent a snipe, then we're going to be in a good position. Getting up some walls there, just in case. Ventus. It was weird. We were both kind of just food starved after, like, throwing away those armies several times. And, yeah, and over here, luckily, this is probably the one thing that saved us, is he pulled back. If he had rushed in and gone for the kings, he may have actually got us right there. It goes to show you, like, if you play correctly, you can still win. Like, Ventus and I don't have military right now, 34. Like, 34, yeah. We have, like, 60 units, and none of it is, like, together. Like, half of Ventus's military is just streaming in. I'm trying to get a blob just in case they run past. Because right now, he could legit just steamroll everything we have. Mounted Samurai are very powerful units. Yeah, like, he's just gonna, yeah, just keep steamrolling whatever militaries we send at him. Though at this point, like, the eco from Ventus and I has kind of just gone online. He's at 195. I myself am at 115. Like, we can both just afford to kind of just print out militaries infinitely. Yeah, and you'll see though, keeps are going down. Like, we legit just cannot stop this horde with what we're trickling in. And we make the decision we just need to fall back to the keeps and just protect the kings, because we cannot stop this horde. Yellow playing very smart in so much that he's going in for a really strong strategy, and he's just gonna try and make it work. Yep, just almost an all cav army just kind of running around. And this is where I'm saying, like, right now, if he got up on top of this military, he could wipe it out very quickly, and then probably just go for the snipe on the king. All this going after our, like, loose military, going after infrastructure, like, all this is a waste of time. Like, if he had just rushed the kings to begin with, there's no way we defend them. Like, we can reprint eco anytime. Eco's not the issue. Ventus is on 170 eco. Yeah, this doesn't matter to us. But seeing that he was not going for the kings and he got his military split up, we get to kind of fight in situations like this where his numbers don't really matter as much. We have the siege advantage, and we can just start taking out his mounted samurai bit by bit. Because once the mass is gone, he's not going to be able to burn down a keep faster than we can kill his stuff. And this is where it's kind of just worth fast forwarding. He does play smart that he's going out, he's trying to weaken us, get our economy down. Very strong, like, 1v1 tactics. Player, he's clearly an experienced player. He has some idea of how to do things, sniping siege, going in, doing eco damage, raiding really hard. Like, he's gotten a lot of unit kills. Cannot take that away from him. He's out on the trade. He's denying us gold. Like, all really good fundamentals. But at this point, like, we don't need the... like, this matters very little to us at this point. We have enough military and enough bank that we can kind of just start working our way towards his base. Those knights can't kill enough to kind of stop what we already have going. So we're just going to start beelining it for his landmark. If he can't kill our kings, but we can kill his, that's all that matters. These raids are inconsequential by the end of it. And at this point, yeah, 11,000 food. I can just reprint all the vills I need whenever I need. So the armies will just continue to work their way south. And see, this is where he had that window of opportunity where we didn't have this much of a military, where he could have gone for our landmarks or gone for our kings. Like, if he even just sniped out one of us, then his chances of victory go up exponentially if he has a stable, safe economy and we don't. Yep. There's not much going to be able to happen here. He's trying to defend as best he can. He's still raiding, still trying to take out Eco. Like, he's playing very efficiently. And he's even got Eco out on the map, not just in base. Because there's closer gold, but he's like, hey, let's go across the map and not have our Eco getting, like, found out too easily. He is a scrappy player. Yeah, he's out here. He's killing infrastructure, killing vills. He's trying to worm his way in. But at this point, that is going to be just GG. His king is just kind of fully surrounded here. He doesn't have an army anymore. And that will just be the end of yellow. Well, thank you all for joining me today. Hope you all enjoy the video and can continue to enjoy the future ones. Y'all take care.